You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, Department of Health and Environment in Kansas concludes a health study in regards to a chemical contamination site in Wichita.
And we take a look at storm damage across the 4 states, including at Peggy's restaurant in Jasper, Missouri.
And we've got ourselves a pretty decent start to our Wednesday. We're going to be cloudy and we have more thunderstorm chances coming up. We'll talk about all of that in your forecast.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Missouri's senior homeowners would be spared from rate hikes on property taxes under a bill passed by state lawmakers. If signed by Governor Mike Parsons, it'd be up to counties to approve the property tax breaks. Now, the freeze on property tax breaks would apply only to the primary residences of people 65 and older. The legislation would also end state taxes on Social Security benefits beginning in 2024. Currently, Missouri residents pay taxes on Social Security only if they make more than $85,000 a year or $100,000 a year if married. The Kansas Department of Health and Environment in Kansas concludes a health study conducted near a chemical contamination site in Wichita. 1998, it was discovered chemicals from a spill in the 70s or 80s were still in the ground at Union Pacific Rail Yard. Researchers found higher rates of liver cancer in the area around the leak, and those rates were double the typical rate in the state among Black residents. They also found more instances of low birth weight, though those instances have been decreasing since 2000. Study's authors concluded these health issues cannot be definitively tied to the contamination, since many other factors can influence them. Monday night, authorities arrested 2 suspects for the murder case of Dakota Patton. That's after deputies found the body of the Parsons, Kansas man. Also on Monday, authorities found the body of Dakota Patton in a field on Xavier and 20th Road in Neosho County. Authorities say he apparently died from a gunshot wound. Authorities arrested Clint Nybarger and Kimberly Thomas in Taney County, Missouri. Nybarger was reportedly the last person to see Patton alive, arguing with him at a gas station, allegedly over a woman. Patton's family previously told us the family became suspicious of Nybarger starting April 25th, around the time of Patton's disappearance. Nybarger and Thomas are charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder.
And we are still doing follow-up leads and stuff on it. But next point will be is they'll get the extradition and they'll be extradited back to Neosho County.
Patton's family is thankful for the support from the community. Their GoFundMe link is available on KOAMnewsnow.com.
Well, we had those strong severe thunderstorms that rolled through the area, not just yesterday morning, but of course yesterday evening. These are the reports, the severe weather reports that it left behind. All those green circles are severe wind gusts. So these would be gusts measured at 58 miles an hour or greater. And the orange are wind damage reports. Most of these are down trees and power lines from yesterday evening. But as we were telling you, in Jasper, actual structural damage taking place up there from those strong winds. Thankfully today we're much calmer and will remain that way through the majority of our day. We'll have the cloud cover building in, and it's just really going to stay cloudy for most of the day, maybe a few peaks of sun. And then as we head into the late evening hours, we're going to start to see showers and thunderstorms develop across the area. Now the good news is these are not expected to be strong or severe, and then we'll continue to see showers and thunderstorms heading into our Thursday morning as well and into the afternoon. And if the daytime heating is right, we could see some strong to severe thunderstorms as we head into our Thursday evening. So our rain chances again pick up just a little bit this evening, and then they're better as we head into tomorrow morning with more widespread showers and storms. Just some thunderstorms for us today, but we do have that elevated risk for severe storms in parts of southeast Kansas and a low end risk for the rest of us. And then Friday's low end risk of strong storms is very conditional. Right now it's looking like any storm development would be very isolated to the point we may only see one storm roll through the area all day, but that one storm could be strong, possibly low-grade severe. We'll take another complete look at your forecast and how the weekend is shaping up here in just a few minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. A storm causing damage came through the 4 states last night. We sent our very own Carrie Worthen out to check it out. Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning, Tanya. I'm here across the street from Peggy's owned family restaurant, where the wind last night from the storm blew the roof across the street over here and broke a bunch of these 2x4s. There's actually some that's sticking in the ground like you would see when a tornado comes through, and it just ripped the metal off the roof of the restaurant and just flung it over here. So there's a bunch of wood here that has nails and screws sticking up, so we're really being careful over here. But we wanted to just make sure you guys can see the damage from every angle this morning.
Carrie, from where you're standing, are you guys able to pan across and get a view of the restaurant to show the viewers?
Yes. So Trevor's going to show you from where we are how far the roof flew across the road.
Wow.
There is some more wood across the street in the ditch over there as well that people's put out of the road because there's nails and screws everywhere, and so it's not safe for people to drive over it. So it has been moved to the side, as well as a bunch of limbs and tree branches that are down in the area as well.
It's kind of scary seeing those pieces of wood just like shoved into the ground like that too. Wow. All right. Well, you be careful out there, that's for sure. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Carrie.
All right. Thank you.
We hope you weren't expecting any important packages from Amazon. Wait a minute. I think I was. KOAM's Shannon Becker got this video of an Amazon delivery van tipped over on I-44 West near Rangeline in Joplin due to winds nearly 60 miles per hour. Well, coming up, Holly Miner from the K-State Extension Office drops by to tell us all about Kitchen Kids Camp.
And later, you've heard about snakes on a plane, but what about snakes in some walls? Jeannie Moose has one woman's unfortunate story. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back.
Maine and Joplin.
All right, as we take a look, we're looking all right this morning. We've got clouds across the area. Take a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. Clouds just about everywhere out there, and that's really going to be about how it stays for today. We've talked about the wind damage reports and the severe wind reports from last night's storms, and thankfully, even though we have storm chances later today, we're not anticipating any severe weather. We're going to be cloudy through the majority of the day, maybe a few peaks of sunshine, but otherwise cloudy. Doesn't stop us from warming up, though. Then we head in about 9-10 o'clock tonight. We'll start to see scattered showers and thunderstorms roll into the area, and we'll get a pause briefly overnight before we see more scattered showers and storms throughout the majority of our Thursday. And as we go through our Thursday and things warm up, we see a little more sunshine, we have the possibility of seeing a strong, possibly severe thunderstorm across the area. So that's something that we will keep an eye on for you. Got those rain chances briefly this evening, and then they'll really start to pick up as we go late into tonight and into the overnight hours and into our Thursday. Again, just general thunderstorms for us today, but we do have an elevated risk for severe thunderstorms across parts of southeast Kansas and a low end risk for the rest of us. And then this low risk on Friday, as we've talked about, is very conditional. We may only see 1 or 2 storms on Friday, but those 1 or 2 storms could potentially be strong or severe. MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline, looking to the south, you can see there is sunlight out there, but it's not going to last very long, and it's just barely getting through. KDOT camera 69 and 400 not showing any sunlight out there, but you can see where it is trying to reach the buildings, but it's got this cloud cover overhead, and as the sun continues to rise, it'll eventually disappear behind that cloud cover. We're at 63 in Joplin with a calm breeze, so again, cooler than yesterday morning, but not bad at all. 61 Iola, Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, 62 in Parsons, 61 Miami, and 63 Neosho, Carthage, and Lamar. Again, we start our day, the cloudy skies, maybe a few peaks of sun, but still warming up. Near 80 by late morning. Highs today, low to mid 80s across the area, but again, otherwise mostly cloudy skies. We'll drop back into the lower 60s tonight and see those scattered showers and thunderstorms begin to roll into the area. We're into the mid 70s for us on Thursday, lower 80s Friday and Saturday. More evening thunderstorm chances on Saturday. Then we'll hang out in the mid to upper 70s with partly cloudy skies to kick off next week, before we see another chance of some showers and thunderstorms heading into next Wednesday evening. One Minnesota man says he's alive today because of his Apple Watch. It called 911 after he was hit by a vehicle, and he contacted Apple's CEO to thank him. David Schumann has the story.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cook. It may seem silly for someone to email the CEO of one of the largest companies in the world and expect the email to be read. But writing to Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, seemed only natural to Michael Brodkorb after what his Apple Watch did for him.
It absolutely is a life-saving tool.
Michael was outside his Eagan home last month when a car peeled out nearby.
As any dad would do when they see a speeding car where their kids are playing, took a few steps out into the street, a car came around the corner and just hit me. And I was just shocked. I mean, just the sheer force of what it's like to get hit by a vehicle.
The car never stopped, leaving Michael badly hurt.
The Apple Watch knew that I had taken a hard fall and that I wasn't responding in a specific amount of time. So the watch called 911.
It also texted his wife and kids in the house, telling them what happened.
I laid there, and my family had to come out and find me. And that's a difficult scenario.
Eagan police say the driver was a 17-year-old boy whose family reached out to the department after the crash. Officers have interviewed the teenager and are finishing their investigation before a charging decision can be made.
There's clearly a criminal element to this. This was dangerous.
As Michael's ribs and tailbone recover, he's gotten support from family, friends, and the CEO of one of the largest companies in the world. Tim Cook wrote back.
It had wished me a speedy recovery and let me know that this is why they designed these type of features.
While many smartwatches on the market today have fall detection features, Brodkorb is also thanking social media users for helping find the driver of the vehicle who hit him. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Johnson Flooring.
Welcome back. Joining us in studio this morning, Holly Miner here to talk to us about the 2023 Kitchen Kids Camp.
Yeah, so we have a camp coming up in June. There's 4 different weeks of camps, and they're 2.5 hours long, and they are 3 days long. So in the mornings for 3 days each week, we'll have a camp at different locations. I think that you have a flyer that says when they are and all their specific information about them.
What cities are doing the camps this year?
So Fredonia, and Neodesha in Wilson County, and then Oswego and Coffeyville.
In Coffeyville too.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but I wanted to, we talk about Kitchen Kids Camp and we're working with the kids, but there's a lot of kids outside of Kitchen Kids Camp, and I wanted to just say a few things that parents can do to work with their kids to help them build some of those kitchen skills. So, when kids are little, they can wash fruits or vegetables, they can set the table, they can do those kinds of things to help. And then as they develop more skills and get older, then they can learn to cut bananas with table knives and those kinds of things. So there are things that we can do as parents or grandparents or even friends or relatives that we can work with kids as they go.
And they can work with measurements.
Yes. So, you learn all sorts of skills. You're using math skills, you're learning how to divide things, if you're cutting or chopping, those kinds of things. So there's a lot of things that we can do. We use all of these, this equipment is right out of one of the Kitchen Kids Camp totes that we use. So each group gets a tote, and we have different things that we do. So grading, we learn how to measure out of liquid measuring cups and dry measuring cups. Those are all things that people can do at home with their kids on a regular basis.
It's fun to encourage them. And cooking is a great family activity.
It really
and they
is.
tend to want to eat different types of foods if they help make them.
That's right. Research shows that if you prepare a food yourself or you have the children help prepare it, they're more likely to eat it or to try it, at least taste it. And we have a little saying, don't yuck my yum. So if you are trying something for the first time and you don't like it, then you discreetly put it away. But if you do like it, then you let everybody know that you liked it. So somebody that if you have 2 or 3 children and one of them doesn't like it and they're very vocal about that, then the other 2 might not even try it. So we like the don't yuck your yum.
All right, so make sure you go online. You can go, we'll have a link to the K-State Extension Service website from ours at KOAMnewsnow.com, where you can go and sign up for these Kids Kitchen Camp. All right, Kitchen Kids Camp. I'll get it. All right, well, coming up a little bit later, we're going to talk about a camp that's for adults, a cooking class.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back.
Snakes in the walls of her new home have a Colorado woman climbing the walls. She discovered the snakes when she first moved in.
Jenny Moose reports on the slithering surprise that was waiting for this first-time home buyer.
Snakes on a plane was just a movie, but snakes in the walls?
This is like a nightmare. Big time.
Single mom Amber Hall was finally able to buy her first home in a suburb of Denver, but even as she unpacked, she discovered others had already moved in.
They're literally coming out of the woodwork, out of every hole and crevice.
One of her dogs found the first one in the garage.
Well, guys, here he is, the snake.
Since then, Amber's seen as many as 30. The snake wrangler she hired thinks there's a den of garter snakes, which could mean hundreds of babies. For Amber, it's
petrifying, but also my mind is playing tricks on me. I think I see snakes everywhere I go.
The other day, she thought for a second she somehow brought one from home to her job as a nursing supervisor, but it was only
a striped phone charger wrapped around a chair.
If you ask her about her dream of finally owning a home,
you're going to make me cry. I spent every penny I had to get this house.
Now people are saying she should move.
But it's like, where am I supposed to go?
A cousin set up a GoFundMe page, we call it Snakes on a Page, to help pay for snake removal and reconstruction and maybe an attorney. But Amber hasn't lost her sense of humor.
It creeps me out.
When her brother and a buddy came over to install shelves, she put her kid's rubber snake in a closet, stopping one of the guys in his tracks. Her kids, ages 11 and 13, keep trying to scare her.
They place it strategically all over the house.
In the words of Indiana Jones,
why did it have to be snakes?
True, these are harmless garter snakes rather than pythons, but still Amber's feeling the squeeze.
I definitely do a full inspection of the toilet every time I sit down.
Jenny Moose, CNN, New York.
There he goes.
Right. That's just creepy.
I
couldn't do it.
Chris, I just have a bird that somehow birds keep getting in my walls in my house. I don't know how.
That's not fun. We had squirrels get in our kitchen ceiling a lot, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of fun when animals get into your house and they're not your pets.
And the first time it happened, we had to drill a hole in the wall, and to get it out. This time the bird just doesn't want to come out.
Go figure. He really likes your walls. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll be back with more news and weather right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:27. The Joplin History and Mineral Museum is working on a prairie project that involves adding pollinator and native plant-themed artwork to their grounds. The Joplin High School National Arts Honor Society started the project by painting a few benches outside, and now they're working on the finishing touches on a pollinator mural featuring native insects and plants with the help of community volunteers and sponsors. Students from the Carl Junction Art Department volunteered to do the work for a large portion of the mural. The Veterans Memorial at the Carterville, Missouri Cemetery is now complete. On Tuesday, officials placed the final memorial stone on its pedestal, this one honoring Vietnam War veterans. The first stone placed on the memorial honored Civil War veterans. It was placed in 2018, and now there are also stones honoring veterans from World War I, II, and the Korean War. Carthage Intermediate Center hosted its Great Americans Day event in Central Park. The event featured volunteers who dressed up as historical figures to teach local students about the importance and the values they embody. Each character not only talks about their life and historical facts, but also has a trait they teach the kids, such as forgiveness, perseverance, honesty, and trustworthiness. One student shares the figures he most looked forward to seeing.
Mostly because Abraham Lincoln was the guy that helped slaves, get out and stuff, and Squanto was one of the people that started Thanksgiving, from what I know.
About 400 fifth graders from 3 area schools attended the event.
Well, we've got ourselves a much calmer Wednesday across the area, but it's going to be cloudier as well. We've got mostly cloudy skies out there. Earlier, as the sun was rising, you'd still see a little bit of sunlight trying to get in, but as it goes higher in the sky, these clouds will block it. We're at 63 in Joplin right now with a calm breeze. Temperatures across the area for the most part into the 60s here. We've got 60 Iola, 64 Chanute, 63 Chitopa, 62 Miami, and 64 in Neosho and Carthage. As we get through the start of our day, we are going to have those cloudy skies initially, maybe a few peaks of sun near 80 by late morning, and heading into the afternoon, again, cloudy skies, few peaks of sun down to or up to the mid 80s across the area. We've also got some thunderstorm chances this evening. We'll take another look at your full forecast here in a few minutes.
All right, a storm causing damage came through the 4 states last night. And we sent out our very own Carrie Worthen early this morning to check it out. I'm understanding we're having a little bit of difficulties right now. Okay, there we are. Carrie joins us now live from Jasper, Missouri.
Hi, Tanya. So we are here in front of Peggy's Own Family Restaurant, where the storms last night basically just took the roof off and threw it across the street. As you can see, that there is the boards are broke, the metal roof's gone, insulation's gone, there's screws and nails everywhere, so be careful if you're driving in this area by the restaurant. You don't want to get a bad tire. There's tree limbs down here. I had to dodge a couple of them on my way in. There's no big ones. There was some, as you could see when I was driving in, but they were removing them. I saw them on the side of the road, but there was some small ones still. So just be careful as you're driving through this area, and just take some time.
Now, while you were talking, we showed some of the video from last night that was just to show that impressive damage, piles of wood before they'd cleaned some of that up. You were also showing us earlier this morning that there were pieces of wood actually that the wind had like thrown into the ground too.
Yes, so it's something you'd see like when you see a small tornado, like there was pieces of 2x4s sticking in the ground. So that's how strong the wind was last night. And it just is surprising what nature can do to anything.
All right, thank you so much, Carrie. You be safe. Well, the city of Joplin wants to increase its visitor numbers by taking a look at a tourism study conducted in town. The city of Joplin asked the Convention, Sports and Leisure International to conduct a tourism study in town, and results are in after a couple of months. On Monday, the council was presented with ideas like a $7 million amphitheater or up to $42 million convention or sports center. Director of the Joplin Convention and Visitors Bureau, Patrick Tuttle, says Rangeline could be a cheaper place to build because of close by hotels and restaurants, but it should not make the area congested.
If you add another event space in there, it's going to bring 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 people there. What's the impact? So a lot of strategic planning, a lot of analysis has to go into this to think what's the best. And a lot of it boils down to is customer experience. We want people to come here and enjoy themselves, not fight traffic, not have to stand in line.
Tuttle says the next phase for the city is to regroup the committee locally, work with CSL to look at the material deeper, and start moving forward with possible options. The YMCA in Carthage got some new life in a green sense. The gym hosted a ribbon cutting for its brand new community pantry garden. And after the ribbon cutting, there was an open house. There was a sale on bunnies, honey, and plants.
That we need things like fresh carrots, fresh potatoes, those kinds of things that really make a difference on the nutritional content of your food. And we also do an education piece out here every month for little preschoolers all the way up to, we have a homeschool network that also comes out.
Still questioning those bunnies, Chris. Proceeds from the plants sold went towards benefiting the garden. That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, Holly Miner returns to the studio to tell us all about a program called Cats in the Kitchen.
And we've got ourselves a pretty decent start to our Wednesday. Cloudy day today, more thunderstorms as we head into the late evening. We'll have another look at that forecast a little later in the show.
Welcome back. We're excited to have Holly Miner from Wildcat Extension District here in studio with us twice this morning. And earlier this morning we talked about a cooking program, a cooking camp for kids. Now we've got one for adults.
That's right. We have a program called Cats in the Kitchen. wildcats in the kitchen. Not really a cat, but so this adult cooking program is for anyone ages 18 and above, and it's an hour and a half long. We will learn all sorts of different things. You have a flyer that has all the topics on it, like dual duty meals, and we'll talk about herbs and spices and just ways to make your meal preparation a little bit easier. The people that participate in the program will also learn cooking skills, be able to perfect skills that they already have, and it's a free program. And if they come to every single session, there's 5 sessions. After each session or during each session, they'll get to pick out a kitchen utensil or item that they can take home and use in their own kitchens, and that they get to keep. So
that's cool.
There's some really neat things going on with this program.
I noticed that one of them has the word competition on it. Chopped salad competition. How does that work?
So they'll actually be in groups, and the group will prepare a salad, and they'll have basic ingredients, and then we'll go through and talk about different things, and then they get to prepare a salad and vote on whose they think is the best.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, and this whole program is held in Neodesha, correct?
That's correct, yes. It will be in Neodesha. It's on Thursday nights beginning July 6th, so it's out there a little ways. Registration will start next week, so we'll take registrations. There's a QR code, a Qualtrics survey that they can fill out to register for the program, and we're super excited. We have 3 or 4 different funders that are helping us provide this program, so there's no cost to the participant.
That's awesome.
And each person will actually be able to go home with an apron as well.
Awesome. Of course, we'll have all the information about where you need to go to sign up on our website later this morning, KOAMnewsnow.com. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Time to get cooking.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14, 540. Let's take a look. We've got the cloudy skies, and that's going to stay that way through the majority of our day, but that will not stop us from warming up. Then we'll head later into this evening, say about 9, 10 o'clock. We're going to start to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. They'll pause briefly overnight and then return and be scattered like this through the majority of our Thursday, at least into the early evening hours. But there's also the possibility Thursday for a couple of strong to severe thunderstorms. But thankfully, tonight's storms, not so much. We'll see those rain chances again pick up as we head into tomorrow morning. We just have the general thunderstorms for us today, but we do have that elevated risk for strong to severe storms in parts of southeast Kansas and a low wind risk for the rest of the area. And Friday's risk right now is extremely conditional. We may or may not see any storms at all. A MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, looking good. The sun's starting to disappear, and no sunshine here at 69 and 400. The KDOT camera there just south of Pittsburgh because the sun is rising above the clouds. That's blocking it out. We're at 63 in Joplin with a calm wind, and again, we'll be cloudy today with a few peaks of sunshine here and there. 61 Iola, 62 Parsons, Chetopa, Miami, and 64 Neosho, Carthage, and Lamar as we kick off our Wednesday. Again, cloudy skies, maybe a few peaks of sun, but still warming up near 80 by late morning. We head into the afternoon. We've got highs low to mid 80s for us today, again under those mostly cloudy skies, and then we head into this evening. Shower chances pick up, and we'll maybe see a couple of thunderstorms, but again, at least through tonight, no strong or severe storms. Lows back into the lower 60s. We're in the mid 70s tomorrow with those thunderstorms, and again, a very conditional threat for storms Friday. We may not see any at all. Otherwise, lower 80s. Better chance for some evening thunderstorms Saturday, low 80s, and we'll pause the rain as we kick off next week and be in the mid to upper 70s. We'll see another system with more thunderstorm chances by Wednesday of next week. That's Check Your Forecast. Now, here's Tanya Bach with a check of Consumer Watch.
All right. Paramount Media Networks announced it is pulling the plug on MTV News as it slashes its U.S. workforce by 25%. The decision brings an end to the iconic music video network's news division. It once covered a range of issues from pop culture to politics and became a household name for Generation X and millennial adolescents. MTV News had already been significantly scaled down in recent years. In addition to MTV News, some units in the company are being eliminated altogether, most of which are in operations. Fox Corporation reported a $50 million loss for the most recent quarter. The company paid a nearly $790 million settlement to Dominion Voting System, which impacted its profit. For the same quarter a year ago, Fox had a $290 million profit. Former Fox media personality Tucker Carlson announced Tuesday he will try to relaunch his TV show on Twitter. Carlson made the announcement in a video posted to the social media site that Elon Musk purchased last year. His decision to appear on Twitter signals his strong desire to remain present in both the media and politics. Media observers anticipate legal action between Carlson and Fox over the move, since he is technically still under contract despite his dismissal. New economic data points to wages finally beating inflation as employers both add jobs and increase paychecks. But which industries are actually paying more? Cole Higgins takes a closer look.
Hiring and wages on the rise, at least for now. The latest jobs report painting a brighter picture of the U.S. labor market.
Americans are starting to finally catch up with respect to wages and prices.
The latest data from the Labor Department shows workers' paychecks grew in April by 16 cents to an average of $33.36 an hour. That's the biggest monthly increase since March 2022.
Increasing jobs, increasing pay, mean an improvement in the cost of living crisis that too many households have had to work through over the past 24 months.
Industries that are struggling to hire are handing out fatter paychecks. A recent survey from the National Federation of Independent Business found 53% of small businesses reported few or no qualified applicants for the positions they were trying to fill. According to that report, construction, transportation, and wholesale jobs are the hardest to fill right now. Meanwhile, employees in the leisure and hospitality sector, including bars, restaurants, and hotels, are also seeing strong wage gains.
When the U.S. lost 20 million jobs in March and April of 2020, much of it was in the service sector. It was the hardest hit component of our economy.
Economists say many service workers had been reluctant to return to the industry as it works to bounce back from pandemic losses and faces recession fears.
Now, as we are on the other side of that hiring has really been strong. Leisure and hospitality has been the stalwart of the jobs recovery.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. This story is out of this world. A family in New Jersey says a metallic object believed to be a meteorite fell from the sky and struck the roof of their home.
Carrie Corrado has the details.
It appears whatever came from the sky fell through the roof, this top left window. This is my dad's bedroom.
Susie Kopp says she found this hole in her father's home on Old Washington crossing Pennington Road in Hopewell Township. At first, she says she thought someone threw a rock until she realized it was more than that.
We're thinking it's a meteorite. Came through here, hit the floor here because that's completely damaged. It ricocheted up to this part of the ceiling, and then finally coming down and resting just on the floor there.
Kopp says no one was home at the time. As she stepped around the debris and sheetrock, she found this 4x6 metallic rock in the corner.
I did touch the thing because I just thought it was a random rock, I don't know, and it was warm.
Derek Pitts, chief astronomer at the Franklin Institute, says it could be 4 to 5 billion years old, left over from the beginning of the solar system.
It's been running around in space all that time, and now it's come to Earth, and it fell right into their laps. But for it to actually strike a house, for people to be able to pick up, that's really unusual. It has happened very few times in history.
Kopp says emergency responders came and checked on her and her family.
They were afraid that, because if it fell from the sky, was it radioactive? Could we have any type of residue on us? They did scan us. Everything came back clear.
While this was a bizarre experience,
I just thank God that my father was not here. No one was here. We weren't hurt or anything.
Wow. I wonder if they have meteorite coverage in their home insurance plan.
Something we'll have to add to the list of insurance coverages, I'm sure.
There's a lot of things that, yep. Well, investigators believe this could be related to the current ETA Aquarids meteorite shower.
Now, the family sees it as good luck and are planning to buy a lottery ticket. So, hey, whatever signs you take as good luck, take them. Because, for it to hit that house with that kind of force, go through the roof, damage the floor, bounce up, damage the other part of the ceiling and land, and nobody gets hurt
anybody,
and
yeah.
not seriously damage the home, I think that's pretty good luck. Well, we've got some good luck with more rain chances in the forecast because we know how much we need this rain. We're going to spend a good chunk of our day just plain old cloudy, though, but we'll still warm up. Then we had about 9, 10 o'clock tonight. We'll see those scattered showers and thunderstorms roll into the area. They'll pause briefly overnight, and then towards sunrise tomorrow, we'll see additional showers and thunderstorms across the area, bringing us much-needed rain. As the day progresses Thursday, there's the possibility we could see some additional strong to severe thunderstorms as we head into late Thursday morning into the afternoon and evening. But the good news is, at least for tonight, tonight's thunderstorms not expected to be strong or severe. Rain chances pick up a little bit this evening. Could see a few of those showers before 8 o'clock. And then after that, rain chances will really go up as we see more widespread showers and storms. So for today, this is what just regular thunderstorms looks like on this map. That's all that is. But tomorrow, we could see we've got that elevated risk for severe storms in parts of southeast Kansas and a low risk for the rest of us. And Friday's low risk, again, very conditional depending on whether or not we see any thunderstorms Friday. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, looking to the south, looks good. Trying to get a little sunlight in there. Not much here at the KDOT camera from 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh. And that's why we are socked in with cloud cover out there. We're at 63 in Joplin with calm winds in the area. And not a bad start, just a cloudy start for us. 61 Iola, 64 Chanute, 62 Parsons, Chatopa, Miami, and 64 in Neosho. As we get our day started, again, while those mostly cloudy skies, few peaks of sun, but we still get to warm up, pushing near 80 by late morning. We'll be back with more of your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities arrest Clint Nybarger and Kimberly Thomas in Taney County, Missouri for the murder of Dakota Patton. Nybarger was reportedly the last person to see Patton alive. Patton's family previously told us the family became suspicious of Nybarger starting April 25th, around the time of Patton's disappearance. Nybarger and Thomas are both charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. On Tuesday, the Kansas Department of Transportation participated in the Pittsburgh City Commissioners meeting, answering and fielding questions over potential Highway 69 Western bypass. This after they participated in the Crawford County Commissioners meeting in Girard this past Friday. KDOT fielded questions ranging from cost of the project, benefits of the bypass, and concerns about the bypass. City of Joplin looks to boost visitor numbers by taking a look at a tourism study conducted in town. The City of Joplin asked the Convention Sports and Leisure International to conduct a tourism study in town. Results are in after a couple of months. On Monday, the council was presented with ideas such as a $7 million amphitheater or up to $42 million convention or sports center. History comes alive for some students in Carthage. On Tuesday, Carthage Intermediate Center hosted its Great Americans Day event in Central Park. The event featured volunteers who dressed up as historical figures to teach local students about their importance and the values they embodied. Performer portrayed Squanto says each character not only talks about their life, but historical facts as well.
We've got ourselves a calm but cloudy day for us across the area. Still warming up, though, low to mid-80s as we head into the afternoon. And then we'll start to see some additional shower and thunderstorm development as we head into this evening and into the overnight hours. The good news is tonight's storms not expected to be strong or severe, with lows pushing back into the lower 60s. Then as we look ahead, we do have the possibility of some strong, maybe severe storms as we head into tomorrow afternoon and into the early evening hours. We have a very conditional threat for maybe a stray storm or two on Friday. More showers and thunderstorms Saturday evening. We're in the lower 80s, and we retreat back into the mid to upper 70s and partly cloudy skies to kick off next week.
Well, astronomers using the James Webb Telescope have spotted a new cosmic surprise outside of our solar system.
The Webb Telescope recently gave them an up-close look at the first asteroid belt ever seen outside of our solar system.
Ooh.
They focused on Fomalhaut, a young bright star located 25 light years from Earth, and the warm dust that encircles it.
This detailed image showed 3 massive rings of dust around the star, extending out 14 billion miles, or 150 times the distance of Earth from the sun. Fomalhaut's 2 inner rings did not appear in previous images taken by any other observatories. They were likely created from the debris left behind as larger bodies such as asteroids and comets collided.
Then the dust was shaped into belts by the gravitational influence of what the researchers believe are hidden planets that orbit the stars. Very fascinating discoveries still being made in space, and with the new James Webb Telescope, who knows what we'll find next.
I know, that's pretty cool.
That's very cool. Well, we want to thank you so much for letting us put the good into your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.